Thank you for taking the time to watch this video presentation regarding the Sharp Printing case study. My name is Eric Weller, and this presentation is for the project management class Cost, Quality, and Team Management through Cornerstone University. Sharp Printing's executive management set a goal to bring to market a consumer-grade color laser printer with a price of less than $200. Executive management set this goal independently from any experts or other employees at Sharp Printing and determined the project cost and duration themselves. There's basically three types of project estimates. The first one is called top-down estimating. There's also bottom-up estimating. And thirdly, there's phase estimating. Executive management at Sharp Printing rolled out this project, the details of the project, and created quite a bit of excitement amongst the employees. They selected Lauren, who is an experienced project manager, to lead this project. And one of the first things she did was to get started and bring together relevant stakeholders and people with expert judgment, other employees, and people with experience working on detailed and intricate projects such as this one. They created some bottom-up estimates, which were detailed estimates for cost and time. They met with the stakeholders and other people outside the organization. They referenced several sources to get ideas, prices, and that kind of thing. Then what they did was they created the work breakdown structure and the work packages to get a very detailed idea of what this project was going to entail. So Lauren had a really good start. She got together a team of people with experience and came up with some really good, findings we're going to talk about in a minute. What she determined from that meeting was that management's estimate was 20% too low, and the duration was 4 months too short. So the findings that Lauren came up with, that her and her team came up with, were that the project was basically going to have a 20% overrun on costs and take 4 months longer than what executive management thought. They came up with some ideas to combat these problems. The first one was to change the scope of the project. The second one is to outsource critical activities on the project to save time and money. The third one was to develop some business partnerships with other corporations that had experience leading these kind of intricate projects. Fourthly, they talked about canceling the project altogether. And then last, performing a break-even study. So really, what estimating technique should be used for a mission-critical project such as this? Bottom-up estimating is the type of estimating that should be done for a project like this. It gets together all the relevant people, stakeholders, experts, those with experience running projects like this. It breaks down the project into a work breakdown structure and actually creates detailed work packages with the amount of resources each work package is going to require and the amount of time that that work package will take to be completed. After they get a bottom-up estimate done, they have a very detailed idea on what it's going to take to complete this project, who are the people they're going to need, what financial resources are they going to need, and bottom-up estimating is really what should have been done with a project of this much intricacy and detail, and the fact that it is mission critical. You know, top management was not acting correctly in developing this estimate. They used a top-down estimate. They just got together and came up with some basic costs, some basic times. They just determined what they wanted to do and when they wanted to have it done by, and they just set a budget based on their own personal experience, but without a ton of personal project management involvement. Their estimate, their top-down estimate, was way off. How did they estimate the project? Well, what are the differences between top-down and bottom-up? We've already talked about that a little bit. Bottom-up gets the actual WBS and the work packages involved in the WBS and gives real time and cost numbers. It puts tangible prices on everything that's going to be done in the project, whereas a top-down is more of a basic overall estimate. And then actually at this point, what are the good options? Are there any good options? Well, we already talked about some of these. Some of the options that they had were to change the scope. That's really undesirable. It takes a lot to change the scope of a project once it is set. They could outsource some stuff like that to help with the cost and the time issues. They could develop a business partnership. They could cancel the project, which no one wants to do, or they could perform the break-even study. But really what they need to do is Lauren needs to go in and she needs to just be honest, talk to executive management, explain the work packages, talk about the stakeholders and experts that she talked with, and then detail the cost and duration overruns and just be honest with them. As project managers, we have to do this. We have to be honest. We have an obligation to do what is right and what is best for the company and for the stakeholders who are relevant in this project. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. I appreciate it.